telling the New York Daily News this. The one thing about being on TV is that you don't lose. You'll remember every damn loss, but the wins, you don't necessarily remember. So it takes a lot out of you. I'm tired of getting expletive. Unless it's a real situation, there's no sense of getting into it again. He also said right now he isn't interested in being a defensive coordinator. Stephen A., what's your reaction?
Well, my reaction is that Rex Ryan clearly is planning for a career in television because unless he's not interested in getting paid, that's really the only job that he's going to have. You'd be an absolute fool to hire him as a head coach. I'm just going to put it out there right now. And I'm not trying to excoriate him or disrespect him. I don't know the man personally. I've interviewed him on several occasions. I'm actually very fond of him and wished for his success. But the reality is the last 6 seasons, he has been a head coach in the National Football League. All 6 years, he has failed to make the playoffs. And not only has he failed to make the playoffs, but he has never produced better than a 500 record. In the 2 years, remember, when he inherited the Buffalo Bills from Doug Maroney, they had the 4th-ranked defense. They ranked 11th against the rush. The first year Ryan took over, they went to 15th in defense, okay, and ranked like 11th or something against the run. His last year, only his second year, they had the 16th ranked defense. They ranked 29th against the run. This is a man whose signature is defense. Everything that he's done, everything that he's achieved successfully has been predicated on defense, yet somehow, some way, it deteriorated and regressed under his stewardship in Buffalo. This was a defense that had 54 sacks when he arrived. His first year on the job, they had 21 sacks, a 33-point drop. You know, you got Mario Williams, who's the former #1 overall pick, who was a pass rusher. You had him dropping back into coverage, seemingly not knowing what you're doing. You hired your brother, who's another defensive mind, by the way, who stunk up to join his last couple of years in New Orleans, Raiders before that, stuff like that. He goes to Buffalo. You with your brother, you still can't get it done. There's nothing to talk about here. Rex Ryan should be happy and proud if he still recognizes a stout defensive mind. And for him to say that he wouldn't accept the job unless it was a head coaching job, because that's the only thing that interests him, to me seems to be an individual that has his head in the clouds because he's not paying attention to the results he failed to produce. That is a fact. It is undisputed. And he should be happy if he got offered the defensive coordinator's job, because the team that hires him as their head coach would be absolute fools because his resume doesn't warrant his hiring.
I agree with Stephen A. Stephen A., I agree with you that he sounds as though he's getting ready for a career in television. 3 reasons why he won't be a head coach. 1, he's about a 500 head coach. You hire Rex Ryan, you're going to win about as much as you lose. So it was 6 years he hasn't made the playoffs. Some years he will make the playoffs. Some years he won't. You're going to be about a middle-of-the-pack team, usually, with Rex Ryan as your coach, on average, which you might think for a floundering organization, hey, you can get to 500. That's stability. So that's point 1. But 2, no, it's not stability, because he's such a player's coach, it seems, that his teams lack discipline. They seem to be a mess, and it was a mess up there in Buffalo this year. And 3, as information came out. Originally, I thought, you know what, leave him alone. You want stability in Buffalo, but the more you found out, the more you thought this isn't working. And 3, one of the reasons it wasn't working is when the front office says, hey, Rex Ryan, stop playing Tyrod Taylor because his guarantee is going to kick in. And Rex Ryan says, no, I need to make the playoffs to keep my job. He gives us our best chance to win, and continues to play him in spite of what the front office says. Now ownership and front offices know, whoa, the guy's not only loses control of the team a little bit, but there won't be a chain of command. I mean, you could argue ethically whether he really should listen to those orders, but nevertheless, that's in the best financial interest of the team, so who's going to hire him? So for those 3 reasons, I doubt he gets another head coaching job, at least not without becoming a defensive coordinator again. And TV pays well, and he's good at it, so there you go.
But, Max, the only point that I would say to you that you're missing in all of this is that, and perhaps is because outside of politics, you're incredibly kind-hearted. The reality of the situation is clear. You didn't speak to this man's arrogance. You have failed to make the playoffs 6 consecutive years as a head coach. You haven't even produced a 500 record. And you have the unmitigated gall to sit up there with a straight face and talk about what you are and are not interested in, as if somehow you are worthy of more than a defensive coordinator's position? The nerve of this man. And again, I like Rex Ryan, but come on, man.
He's failed to develop a quarterback. The real problem is, in this NFL, you got to develop a quarterback. He's failed to do it. Whether you think that's because he hasn't had the raw material or because he's not good enough at it, that's his problem.
Guys, we got to keep it moving, but we can all collectively agree that he's going to be fantastic on television. Gentlemen, coming up.
Well, we don't know that either.
Stephen A., he's going to be good on TV. We know it. We do.
We don't know.
I've seen him on TV.
We don't know.
I can't win today. Stephen A., the floor is yours coming up. You're going to talk about LeBron and his anger towards Charles Barkley. You will be uninterrupted. I'm sure you will enjoy that. Don't miss Final Take. Also, Matt Ryan is ready to move out of Michael Vick's shadow in Atlanta. If he wins it all this weekend, he could have a shot at becoming the new king of the South.